The new S-TEK is our Hogarthian style harness for serious technical diving, although we also know it will find many homes with recreational divers who like the minimalist style of a Hogarthian harness. As you would expect, it has one continuous piece of webbing, and starting with the webbing, we spent a lot of time and energy getting the consistency and durability of this webbing exactly correct. We know that many previous harnesses have got a really stiff webbing, which is good from the point of view that it prevents the webbing from twisting, but it can make setup in terms of getting your D-rings and tri-glides and everything on that harness in the right place quite tricky. One of the reasons that harnesses use very stiff webbing, other harnesses use very stiff webbing, is to help prevent cutting of the webbing where the webbing passes through the backplates. We did a couple of things to mitigate against that webbing abrasion. Number one, we got those EVO angles that we spoke about exactly right on the backplate. Number two, we did the CNC radiusing on those edges, so there's a nice rounded edge that really helps protect that webbing and prevents that cutting or that abrasion. By doing that, it freed us up to go for a slightly more flexible webbing that is still stiff enough to prevent that twisting while you're wearing the harness, but at the same time, it's more comfortable and it allows for easier setup when we are positioning tri-glides and D-rings and all the rest. So that's the basis of the S-TEK. It's the 3D formed backplate, the new backplate with our newly developed webbing, and then very much as you would expect, continuous webbing that runs all the way from the right waist, over the shoulder, across the back, down the left waist, and back to the stainless steel buckle in the front. In terms of features, we have done a few small innovations and a few small improvements along the way. For example, if we have a look on the shoulder straps, conventionally you would have a stainless steel tri-glide with a pre-bent stainless steel D-ring. Very much what we've done. What we have done is we've done a quad glide instead of a tri-glide on those shoulder D-rings. And our reason for that is we noticed on some harnesses that when you are carrying heavy stage tanks out of the water, sometimes that D-ring with the tri-glide could slide down the webbing a little bit. It's not really an issue when you're in the water, of course, but walking around with a stage tank, we did notice it happen. The quad glide prevents that completely. It gives an extra turn through there, an extra slot, and that locks perfectly in position on that shoulder strap. It also allowed us on the left shoulder to separate the epaulet position from the D-ring position. And while we were busy reworking the epaulet, we also went for a bungee corded version instead of a standard O-ring. So it's bungee cord very similar to what we've used on our fin straps for many years. The benefit of that is it has the elastomeric rubber strands on the inside, as you would expect, which is similar to the O-ring that we have used previously, but it has a polyester sheath over the bungee cord, which means it cannot snap. Even if the rubber portion did over time get weaker or perish, that epaulet will never give way. So a more durable, flexible epaulet, which also assists with lifting your inflator up to deflate. Moving a bit further down on the shoulder strap, we decided to do something a little bit more classy than slices of bicycle inner tube, and we've got specially molded silicone bands with a little S logo on, just to show that it's custom made. And we've done that on both sides, as well as on the crotch strap and on the waist strap. Nice little finishing details over there. On the waist, we have very traditional left side only for a Hogarthian harness, stainless steel D-ring, and on a tri-glide. There was no need to use the quad glides on the shoulder because it's not taking a heavy load out of the water. And crotch strap is very much as you would expect. You've got the scooter rings, D-ring at the back, fully adjustable, silicone bands for holding the loose end, and very much what you would need for any kind of technical diving over there. One of the things that we have done differently with the Pure harness is you can use it in two different modes. The one mode is what we call extender mode, and extender mode allows you to basically tighten up the shoulder straps by pulling on the waist strap. And obviously we're aware that we're not the first in the industry to do something along these lines, but we also know that it's a feature that many people value because you can have the security of a Hogarthian S-TEK system, but just when you undo the waist strap, you can lengthen those shoulder straps just slightly to allow you to get out of that harness a little bit easier. So that's extender mode. We also realize that some people who are doing really extreme diving and have been doing it the same way for 20 years may not want to change and use the extender mode. So you can also set up your S-TEK harness in what we call fixed mode. And fixed mode would quite simply have a tri-glide behind the backplate so that the relationship between shoulder straps and waist straps don't move. It's fixed in position. It's available with the stainless steel backplate or the aluminium backplate, and there also are accessories such as shoulder pads, waist pads, back pads that can be added to that PureTech harness.